Should you buy Battlefleet Gothic Armada? In general, yes, but it is not for everyone and you might want to wait for a sale. Let me elaborate and maybe you'll know if it's for you. Battlefleet Gothic Armada is a Warhammer 40,000 game that is set in a space which is fairly unusual. Rather than Space Marines, you play as the Imperial Navy or one of the 5 other factions. The campaign only features the Empire as the playable race, but there's also skirmishes and multiplayer. And you have a lot of ships that you can customize and choose from and so on. You can customize the skills and weapons and other stuff as well. And what you're seeing here is a fairly advanced campaign game. I'm going to quickly show you what the game looks when it's actually played. Apart from the Empire, it also features playable factions of the Space Marines. There will be some spoilers, but not much for the campaign. The Space Marines, the Orcs, Chaos, the Tau, and the Eldar. As you can see, we prepare our fleet based on, well, there are different mission objectives, there are different point values, and there are different factions you'll fight. And the ships have different point values. So let's say I'll take these 4. You have your ships of the line of 4 weight classes, and you also have your smaller escort ships. And the campaign is basically a series of skirmish battles interconnected by, the campaign economy system and so on. Still, even though it seems to be pretty restricted in that regard, I did thoroughly enjoy the campaign. Now, this is basically a 2-dimensional ship battle in space. It is, imagine if you had, we can deploy our ships. Imagine if you had a simulator of naval battles. Let's just let them automatically choose their targets and do stuff. We'll just watch them do their thing. You have skills and stuff and so on. And very Warhammer 40,000 over-the-top voice acting. That's actually wonderful. So yeah, these are our ships. Different classes, different available types, and so on. What this is basically a naval battle simulator in space. As you can see, the plane is 2D, and we have our ships. We can turn them quickly. We have various skills and so on. Engagement range and sides. You can do one of each side, select, and they'll always engage the enemy with that side, and so on and so forth. A bunch of stats. And you have different weapons. Each of them has a different range and coverage. So, for example, the main weapons here, the macro batteries that we have, cover the side of the ship. So, the ship will engage with its side, fire from its bow, and it will then turn and so on. And the ships can get damaged, and there's a lot of, stuff going on in terms of mechanics, but let's not get too much into it. Essentially, this is a naval battle simulator in space. And as that's what it is, there isn't much variety to the gameplay, I'd say. Although you do have to adjust your strategies to the enemies that you're fighting. Still, you have a lot of options. You can make your ships ram the enemy, for example. And certain ships are much better at that than others. Actually, let's ram the enemy. I'll show you how that works. Let's ram the enemy. I'm going to tell them to engage with the front. We'll turn the ship to ram the enemy. And this is a smaller escort ship. And in terms of ramming, the weight of the ships has all the meaning. See, bam, we've rammed them. And we could have also rammed them more if we used this skill. And so on. Orcs are the best at ramming, but again, those are details we don't necessarily need to discuss. And I'm mismanaging this battle because I'm focusing on talking to you while we're just watching the battle. In this particular mission, we're supposed to bombard the planet, so these objectives will appear, and we need to reach them in time. And when we do enough, we win. And the ships are long or short range. There are varied ones. For example, you can have a less tough ship that will effectively engage the enemy at a long range, like this one. It can attack from a very long distance. Or you can have, for example, a ship that's weaker at a distance and will not do so well when we take that into account, but will, for example, ram very strongly, like we're trying to do right now. Boom. And the ships have different values of armor on the front and the sides, so yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff you can do with your strategy here. Asteroid fields, cloaking stuff, and so on. Okay, let's get out of this battle. We've heard enough. Also, as you have probably heard, the game has a lot of very Warhammer 40,000-like, over-the-top, super strong voice acting. And I actually like that. So, for example, the voice acting in Warhammer Dawn of War, Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 1, was super excessively over-the-top, overemphasized, and so on. And that actually fits the world, in my opinion. Some people think that it's bad voice acting, but I don't think it is bad voice acting for Warhammer. It's intentionally that way. Anyway, so now let's have a look. You have 6 factions you can play. Unfortunately, you can't play them in the campaign modes, only in skirmishes against the AI or other players. And let's select one. Let's say the Tau Empire. I've been playing them a little bit to test them out, and actually enjoy them quite a lot, although I think they might be a bit overpowered, because they're very powerful at distance. And each faction plays differently. For example, if you're playing the Orcs, you just have to ram the enemy. With the Tau, you can basically sit back and destroy the enemies with your homing missiles, and so on and so forth. And there's tons of ships, and it seems the creators of the game really do care about the details and the lore of the Warhammer universe. Now, I'm not well versed in Warhammer universe lore, so I probably shouldn't talk too much about it. Let's move on to who this game is for and if you should buy it, and why, and for how much money, and so on. So I would say this game is definitely something you will enjoy if you're a fan of the Warhammer 40,000 universe and space battles. The space battles are basically the only thing the game offers apart from, ship customization, because it also does that. You can choose from a variety of, color schemes for your fleet, a variety of ships, lots of different ships, and so on. And if you are into space battles and if you're into Warhammer 40,000, I think you will enjoy this game thoroughly. On the other hand, the space battles are basically the only thing the game offers apart from the Warhammer 40,000 climate. And I think that is done very well. It really has the Warhammer 40,000 feel. So if these are things you think you'll enjoy, by all means pick up the game. If the space battles seem to not be enough for you, then you might not enjoy it, because the space battles are basically all that this game is. But they're very well done space battles. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed the campaign. I played through the whole campaign, and I even dabbled in single-player skirmishes and multiplayer a little bit. And I did enjoy, basically did enjoy most of it. I'm not sure how good the multiplayer scene for this game is right now, because I dabbled in multiplayer like a year ago and only recently played through the campaign, because earlier it was bugged and now they fixed it. Well, not just now, but when I was first playing the campaign it bugged out and I lost interest. Then I decided to revisit the game, and I was actually very happy with the campaign. It was thoroughly enjoyable. And it has a story and, nice cutscenes and all that voice acting native to the Warhammer 40,000 universe that I love so much. Now let's look at the prices, and the sound will cut out because I'm actually tabbing out so that we can have a look at the prices. The base game is priced at $40 or 40 euros, actually $39.99, but yeah, that's 40 on Steam. But it has been discounted as far as minus 70%, which is down to 12 euros or $12. So, and it has been discounted like every few months. So I would say definitely pick it up if it sounds like something you will enjoy, but maybe wait for a sale, because the sale discounts are very big. And there's probably going to be a sale like in a month or two. If you are interested in this, just add this to your, I'm interested in games on Steam, and when the price drops, get it. That is at least my recommendation. Again, the space battles are very well done in my opinion, although they are in 2D, so if it doesn't break immersion for you, it's great. And if the fact that the space battles are basically the whole game, apart from the story campaign, then if that doesn't bother you, then definitely get this game. For fans of space aspect of Warhammer 40,000, because with Warhammer 40,000 games, we always see the Space Marines fighting on the ground, because that's what the tabletop game is. And I actually find the whole space aspect maybe even a bit more interesting. Anyway, that is it about this game. I hope this little review/buyer's guide was helpful, and I will see you soon with another one. Goodbye.